Yo, what it do is Dress Kid Tay back here with another video. The topic today is how often should you clean your gun? As usual, we're pretty much all clear. Empty magazine, slide lock back. I'm in a controlled and safe environment. So how often should you clean your firearms? Honestly, if you're going to carry it, it should stay clean. You should never, you should never play with your well-being in your life and just say, "Oh, well, I don't believe I should carry a gun unless I can shoot it 1,000 times, leave it dirty, and it has zero malfunctions." That's just not realistic. No soldiers, no cops, none of them go by those words. Like literally, you can't find one soldier, one cop, one trained professional that would tell you carry a dirty gun. I don't care if it's a H&K, a Sig Sauer, a Taurus, Smith& Wesson, Glock, Canic, FN, Ruger, any brand, man, any brand, any caliber. I don't care if it's the third gen, the oldest one, the newest one, the revised one. I don't care, I don't care how many, times you went to the range without cleaning it and it worked. Real life is not the range. Real life is real life. You know, every manufacturer, if you read the owner's manual, every manufacturer says after you fire the gun to clean it. From Glock to Taurus, I don't care what anybody say. You can read your owner's manual. It will tell you clean your firearm after every use. Don't just put oil on it. That's like a person going to work. Let's say, if a person does construction, you get dirty, of course. You might not get that dirty depending on your position out there, but if you do construction, you come home, are you just gonna say, okay, let me spray some cologne on me. Let me put some lotion on without actually physically cleansing yourself from the debris and, the dirt and grime where you accumulated while you were at work. So why would you do something with your firearm like that? Like, these aren't toys. These are actual tools for self-defense. I know a lot of people have never been in gunfights. And, I call a lot of guys who have guns literally that, guys with guns. They're not gun guys. They're giving out incorrect advice. I'm not going to say it's wrong or it's just incorrect. It's not accurate. It's not applicable to real life situations. The best shooters, the best soldiers, the best policemen, however you want to say it, professionals, real professionals will tell you keep your gun clean at all times if you're going to carry it. Me personally, I clean them regardless whether I carry them because I don't like for dirt and grime to build up in the crevices and, hard to reach areas. I was cleaning one of my friend's Glocks, or really just all of his guns. I'm gonna be bringing him to the channel real soon. And man, this guy had so much lint. I'm finna show you where he had lint at. I think it was he was carrying the Glock 29 mostly for a while, and he would wear sweatpants. What are sweatpants generally made of? Cotton. This man has so much cotton in the trigger bar, all up and through here just cotton. I'm like, dang, bro, like, that's why I kept telling him, yo, like, get a holster. I might just end up buying him a holster, man. One for he got two 26s. Get bro one for both of those and get him one for the 29. Because, man, at the end of the day, you can't say, hold on, time out. Wait a minute, pause, click. This is not Adam Sandler. This is not a movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should always keep your guns clean after every time you shoot it. And you should also keep it lubed, religiously. Of course, lube dries up. As you see, mine's not really that wet. But if you're not going to keep it that wet, at least keep it clean, man. Because these surfaces, they actually are made to pretty much ride along at a certain tolerance. If these surfaces are, how can I put it? You're not going to just, all right, let's say you have a high mileage car, right? You're not going to just say, okay, let me just change the oil and not change the oil filter. Or let me just change the oil filter and not change the oil. So why would you take a gun to the range, shoot it, and then just put oil on it? Technically, you're messing up the wear patterns on these guns. Like, all these guns have different wear patterns that the manufacturers, specify to keep them at. You mess up the tolerances when you run a gun longer without cleaning it. That's what a lot of people don't know. You see wear patterns. Everything has a wear pattern on it when metal is contacting with metal. Metal's contacting with metal creates a wear pattern. If you have a lot of crud and oil, sooner or later these things are going to become out of spec. Therefore, your gun will begin to malfunction. And a lot of people feel like, well, if it doesn't malfunction at the range, it's not going to malfunction in an actual self-defense shooting situation. And that's just totally not how you should, live your life. Like, your life isn't worth trying to prove to yourself or YouTube or anybody that, oh, I can shoot my gun 1,000 times without cleaning it and it's still going to shoot. That's just not, like, your life ain't worth that, man. Your life not worth not taking 5 minutes to just wipe your gun off. Like, even if you don't, like, clean it physically with any type of actual solution, wipe your gun off, man. Just wipe your gun off. Even if you're not going to, like, clean it with any solutions. Wipe it off. You ain't got to do too much. As you see, this gun is actually clean and it's still dirt on it. Of course, that's not enough to actually make it malfunction. Or is it? It's still dirt on it. I done cleaned this gun a couple times. I'm not putting it in a ultrasonic cleaner or anything, but I have physically wiped this gun off a couple times. That goes for the barrels also. When it comes to the barrels, especially on Glocks, the Gen 3s and 4s, it's polygonal rifling. It's not the traditional rifling. Polygonal rifling means debris gunpowder, lead, copper, everything that's coming off that bullet, it can build up quicker in the actual barrel. Therefore, it messes up the pressures in the actual barrel. If you're shooting a hot load, that's where the Glock kaboom comes from. Especially, with like 10 millimeters. It's the hot loads really only. Sometimes it happens with 9 millimeters, but it's more common with the 10 mils, the 40s, just those hot loads, 357 SIG hot loads. So from the frame to the slide to the barrel to even the mag well, like you can have obstructions in your mag well. I just started cleaning the actual mag release area. That can get gummed up a lot. A lot of guys, they clean their guns, but they don't take the strikers out. You got to clean all of these areas and also make sure where lube needs to go, lube goes, and where it needs to be dry, it's dry. I didn't know when I first really got into these guns that lube didn't go in the striker channel. I thought they was like, you can go and watch like my first videos, my GX4 versus the G26 video with my homie. He got the G29 and the Gen 3 and the Gen 5 26s. Man, my guns was malfunctioning. It was really like, it was the GX4 Toro, the micro one. That gun malfunctioned so many times. Light primer strike. And I'm like, dang, what's wrong with my gun? The whole time, I over-lubed it. So, don't listen to anybody saying you can over-clean a gun. There's no such thing as overly cleaning a gun. You can only over-lube a gun and put lube where it just doesn't go. This is a dry system. It doesn't really require much lube. So when you're putting lube in here, 100% you will have malfunctions because this spring rebounds, resets at a certain tolerance. So once you go to messing with those things, you can have aftermarket this, aftermarket that, and the gun actually doesn't malfunction any. You can have all the upgrades, as long as they're in spec of the actual original parts. But once you go to putting lube in the wrong places, like you see these holes, foolishly I was putting lube in the hole. Don't judge me too bad, y'all, but I didn't put lube in those holes. Those are breather holes. Those are holes that pushes out debris if there was to get any water into it. Water and lube oil has different viscosities. You know what I'm saying? Like, water dissipates almost instantly. Lube, it's a little thicker than it's thicker than water, flat out. So man, this was just a little conversation about you should always keep your carry guns clean. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care how many rounds they say they put through it. It shouldn't apply to you. Just let them live by that. And hopefully they can make it home after a self-defense situation. Because it's really just not worth your life, like trying to prove to yourself or to anybody else that you can keep your gun dirty and still shoot it. That's just not a soldier, a policeman, or a trained professional's opinion. They're not going to give you that opinion, honestly. And don't listen to people that says, oh, well, I clean it when it starts to malfunction. Man, it might start malfunctioning in an actual shootout. What are you going to do? Like, seriously. I was just talking to one of the homies. He got a G27. I think it was brand new, but he Strangely, he sold his actual slide and bought a aftermarket slide. I don't know why would he do that when you can just, get the slide cut to however you want it. But he was under the impression that it's still OEM. It's not OEM. Those are not the same specs. You literally changed, like, it wasn't made by Glock. And I'm asking him, I'm like, well, damn, like, what did you do? And the more I watched the video, I was like pretty much commenting while I'm watching the video. And then he initially said, yeah, I sold my original slide, bought this slide, which is crazy. That's why I love Taurus, because I can buy these slides off Taurus website right now. So now I got 2 slides. And guess what? They're both factory. Same spec. Just with an optics cut. That's why I actually love Taurus, because no other company besides Palmetto State Armory really does that. No other company. Like, it might be a few here and there, but no other company routinely makes separate slides for their guns. It's just not going on. He had the 40 cal. He was like, oh man, it's jamming. He was like, I'll shoot it 500 times and it'll jam like probably 5 times or something like that. Per 100 rounds, it would jam like once. He was like, I don't feel comfortable carrying it. I'm like, bro, you can carry it. Clean your damn gun. Everybody know 40 cal bullets. 40 Smith & Wesson bullets and 10 millimeter bullets are the same thing. Only thing is the casing on the 10 mil is longer. Casing on the 40 cal is around the same size as a 9 millimeter. That's why you can put that's why you can shoot 40 Smith & Wesson in a 10 millimeter gun. It's not really recommended, but you can shoot 40 in a 10 mil, but you can't shoot 10 mil in a 40 because of the actual the breech of the barrel. They're different limbs, pretty much. That's why you can use 40 Smith & Wesson magazines in a 357 SIG. Vice versa. But yeah, he was like, oh man, my 40's jamming. And I'm like, bro, like, that's how you know a lot of people don't really know about guns. They just have guns. They're not gun guys, they're guys with guns. Everybody knows the 40 round, when it's not a hollow point, it's what? It's flat. I have a couple military issue service grade 9 millimeters. They have the flat nose also. They're just like 40s and 10 mils when they're not hollows, when they're just FMJ. And everybody knows those will jam if you don't clean the gun. If the feed ramp is dirty, it will jam. Like, I don't really know what else to tell people, man. You got to keep your guns clean. Like, the gun's not malfunctioning. It's just dirty. Even when you buy a brand new gun, always clean it. From the factory. Shout out to Mike from Tactical Considerations. He gives lessons on with Tauruses. Always clean them from the factory. I don't care what it is. Clean it from the factory, because all guns are technically fired from the factory. They're built, clean for the most part, but then they're fired and then they're just sitting on a shelf for X amount of years or months. If you're not aware, a Gen 4 Glock hasn't been produced in over 10 years. So if you have a Gen 4 Glock, it's brand new, a Gen 4 Glock, it's a 10-year-old gun. Why the hell would you buy a 10-year-old gun and just say, okay, I'm not going to clean it. I'm just going to start shooting it and I'm going to keep shooting it until it eventually malfunctions. And I'll know how long I can shoot the gun without it malfunctioning. That's just plumb crazy, honestly. So, man, new guns, clean them. Used guns, clean them. Carry guns, keep it clean. If you're going to put it on your hip, keep it clean, man. Like, there's no point in walking around with a dirty gun to try to make somebody feel like, oh, this brand, this caliber, this generation is the best. Like, nah, man. The best gun is what? A clean gun. Dress to Kill, man. Make sure y'all hit the like, share, subscribe button. Post bell notification. We out.